Why, hi there, it's Uncle Ron Juckett, and it's time for an Uncle Ron's Blerbs behind the scenes, whatever. As I was talking about specifically, well, first of all, I want to thank some people, but specifically want to talk about some of the things that I'm learning and working on as we head toward our Summer of Tokyo. Now, Dave Gardner has kind of pimped PowerPoint to me. And so I've been playing with PowerPoint today, and so you're going to see some of that in a moment as we go through a couple of the things that I played today. Now, we will tape an episode of Omnibus probably tomorrow night, and I do need to ask about whether or not how public lame racing is going to be, but that's not for here or there. So, first of all, thank yous. Within the next day or two, the channel will have hit 700 subs. Really, I think the last time I looked it was 698 here on YouTube. And, oh my goodness, I just can't tell you just how thankful I am that so many of you pretend to watch every once in a while. No, I'm kidding. That a lot of you do and leave good feedback. And, yes, Johnny, I will do my best to keep Lorenzo in line. It's hard to do, but 700 is a big number. We all got to start from somewhere, and hopefully with this Olympic project we can kind of get that going a little bit more. But it's still a very gratifying number. The number on Twitch for followers, I think, is at 126, and I believe I have 14 subs. So if you have an Amazon account, an Amazon Prime account, yes, I knew you would talk over there. You can, if you have not attached your Prime account to a Twitch and like what you see on the channel, it won't cost you any money. It's a freebie for you, and I get like 50-50 with Amazon on that. So that would be very, very sweet. Thank you very much. Anyway, so thank you. And a very specific thank you for Delphi 4 member CC Apafan. I don't know who you are, but I will find you. No. But I want to give him a shout out in particular. He posted a link on the Delphi forum to the first round of my U.S. Open, all-time greats U.S. Open, which got the attention of one George Gurney. And George, I sent something to your wife on the registration thing and probably didn't get linked there, and I'll just send you the link again. But I'm very thankful for the kind words on the golf tournament that we did. By the way, it won't be this week, but we'll do our Open Championship starting next week, the week of, well, like the 20th or something like that. 4-round coverage starting at primetime coverage Thursday and Friday, and leaders coverage at noontime Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and I think 5 p.m. British Summer Time on Saturday and Sunday. Anyway, so we'll be continuing that. We'll be doing the PGA Championship in August, probably not the week of my anniversary. And in September, we will be doing an all-time greats women's Players Championship from Sawgrass. So there are 3 more championships on the all-time greats golf tour to come. So CC Apafan, who also mentioned me as among one of his favorite streamers, podcasters in the community, I do appreciate that. So thankful that you're watching. I wonder if we've actually chatted before. So if you do watch this, say hi, and so I know who you are. And thanks for that. It really does mean an awful lot. Okay, all right. So now on to what the preparations for the Summer of Tokyo, which will be, oh my goodness gracious, it's probably going to take a full year to do all that. Trying to get as many, we show you a mix of quote-unquote live action and results and stories to make it interesting so we can all enjoy what would have been the Summer Olympics this year and go back to 1964 when we had when the last time the Olympics were in Tokyo. Smaller events, of course, but a lot to go through there. I think there's like 193 medal events. Well, we're going to try what we can to actually get you to see some playing action of all of that. How about that? And some of it's going to be in some of the form that I'm about to show you, and some of it will be live dice rolling and all that. But kind of like most Olympics on American television, it will be chopped up, diced, sliced, and slapped together. And none of it will be live because it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to do it live. But again, thanks to Roberto Schiavini have all of his summer games, and now I have all of his winter games. So we can actually recreate any Olympics to our heart's content, and I am so thankful for that. It's kind of a thankful show. So I'm going to show a couple things here. Like I said, this is not an episode of Omnibus because this is kind of a blab session. Oh, speaking of thank yous, before I get to the couple events I did today. We tape on Sunday the first anniversary show for digitalidice.com, our 48th of the year. I don't know what the current listener count is all time, but it's well over 40,000. We've listened to Dave and I put together a show, chat amongst ourselves, chat amongst with you, have guests on. We're working on 3 or 4 different guests to start season 2 or year 2. Again, thanks to everyone who contributed to Dave's ask for money to help keep the show going. It does cost a bit more than we thought, just in storage and software and all that. So thank you so much. And it's been such a joy to do. And we read all the comments and appreciate all the likes. And who would have known that I could have come up with 48 different Aunt Becky jokes, and no, I still don't want to try any pineapple pizza. It's bad. It's bad. All right, so let's show you what I did with this. So I ran 2 events today. Normally they would have been an omnibus. What I'm trying to do for the Summer of Tokyo, the complete replay of the 1964 Summer Olympic Games from Tokyo, Japan, is do something with each of the Roberto games before I actually go to it and do it on a recording and all that. And so today's test, Saturday, whatever, the 10th of July, was his Swimming Stars game, which is his current version of swimming, and Unrestrained Bolts, which is his sprinting track and field game. So last time out on Omnibus, we played a little bit with Google Earth. We're sort of going to, that got some good feedback, so we'll continue to do that. But today we have graphics for you. How about that? So this is going to be kind of presented in a Sports Center highlight type fashion. Hopefully we'll get you there, and hopefully you like what you see, and we'll obviously play around with this. I had some dinner. I chatted with Dave for a little bit, and I really just kind of threw these together rather quickly. And so the next time out, when we'll do part of a volleyball tournament I did on Omnibus, we'll have it a little bit better. But this is really just kind of what I threw together on fast notice. Okay. So first, hold on. There, the following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network. Yeah, I said it again. Home of the champions of the past, present, and future. And a preview of our road to Tokyo. Our replay of the 1964 games of Tokyo, Japan. And so the 2 events that we did today were the men's 200-meter butterfly from the Rio Summer Games of 2016. We used Swimming Stars for that. And for our Unrestrained Bolts, our track and field, we went back to London for the World Championships in 2017 and did the men's 100 meters. So I'm going to spoil the results because you kind of have to, and then we'll do some highlights from the race. So first, it's on to Rio de Janeiro. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, you get the idea. And in the pool, it was very, very close. Michael Phelps of the USA wins the 200-meter butterfly at a time of 1:53.27. Sakai of Japan, and when we show you the highlights, or when I show you the Excel spreadsheet, was oh so close, 1:53.31. And Ken Deresi of Hungary, a good result, 1:53.61. Let's show you how we got here. So, a 15-segment race. Phelps trailed all the way into the last 12.5 meters. Yep, we broke it up into 12.5-meter segments. We rolled for each one, and Masato Sakai got a great jump. In the first segment, he swam the first 12.5 meters in 7:05. Phelps was second best out of the gate at 7:11, but he started the race 0.06 of a second back. Henderson was not in third place to start, but a very good start all the way around. Phelps could not catch up. By the third segment, the 37.5 meter mark, he finally got a hundredth of a second back, and back and forth they would go all the way. At 100 meters, Sakai still had the lead. By 125, Phelps was trying to get there, but at the 137.5, he lost another 400ths of a second. And then came the last 62.5 meters. At 150 meters, he gained 300ths of a second. The next time out, another hundredth of a second. They were even through 175 meters. In fact, Kendressy swam a 7:08, 12.5 meters. At 187, Phelps got one more hundredth, but he was still down about 400ths of a second. And on the final 12.5 meters, Phelps swam his fastest segment of the race, 7.04 seconds. Remember, Sakai's best segment was at 7:05. Kendressy, who took the bronze at 1:53.61, his best segment was between 125 and 137 meters is 7:06. Phelps just had that little bit extra and beat Sakai in the last segment by 7/100ths of a second and touched the wall at 1:53.27. Sakai at 1:53.31. Kendressy takes the bronze at 1:53.61, 7/10ths ahead of Chad de la Classe of South Africa. Daya Sato of Japan at 1:55.04. Czech of Hungary, two Hungarian swimmers in the field, 1:55.24. Bromer from Denmark at 1:55.63. Irvine of Australia, 1:55.74. And no, I did not use any form adjustments with that. I just ran the race as is. You can do that. Phelps, by the way, had the star by his form, so he could have reached and kind of cut off another 6/10 if he was within. He did not need it. How about that? So Phelps, what a race that is. We'll show the results again. 1:53.27 is I'm not sure how that does to the record time, but that's what we got for you. And so what we did was we divided it into all those segments, and it came out to an average time of 7.19 seconds per 12.5 meters. Shall we go to the next part? I think we shall. It helps if I hit the right button. Okay, the next up was the men's 100-meter sprint at the London World Championships in 2017, and there was a mild upset. Justin Gatlin ran it in 9.90. That seems kind of slow to me. Usain Bolt, 9.94. He was not in the same grade. We'll show you what happened in a moment. In Simbine of South Africa took third at 9.95. And as I call this up on the screen, again, 4 segments, 2.52 per 25. Gatlin was in a higher form than Bolt. Gatlin was reading out of the I column. Bolt and Christian Coleman in the United States were reading out of the J column. And so through the first 25 meters, Gatlin, Bolt, and Simbine all got out of the blocks at 2.49. They weren't the fastest out. That was Christian Coleman at 2.47. And then Bolt had a great second 25 meters. He hit the 50-meter line at 2.44. 500ths of a second faster than Gatlin and 300ths of a second faster than Simbine. Coleman just couldn't find anything after that. He ran a very slow 2.53 second 25. Johan Blake 2.49, and Su Bington of China reading out of the L column a 2.49 for the second 25. Then the third 25, Gatlin started to get some speed. He ran it in 2.48. Bolt did not get a good boost out of that. He peaked at 50 meters. His next 25 was at 2.51, tied with Simbine. And then the last 25 meters, Gatlin ran the fastest segment of the race at 2.44. He crosses the line at 9.90. Bolt had a chance to probably, I don't know, 2.46 would have gotten him a tie. I think it was possible. Didn't quite get it. Crosses the line at 9.94, 100th of a second faster than Simbine. Blake rolled a 2.48 for the final 25. He finishes at 9.99. But the second fastest of the group was Julian Forte of Jamaica. He rolled a 2.47. He's tied with Coleman at 10.01 for fifth. Ben Yusuf Mite of the Ivory Coast at 10.03. And Stu Bingtian of China at 10.04. I don't know what the final results were of the race. But there's the chart again. Gatlin of the USA at 9.90. And Usain Bolt losing the 100-meter sprint. I need to see. I didn't do the research on what was there, but that is a quick look of how unrestrained bolts work. And Simbine of South Africa again at 9.95. So unrestrained bolts and swimming stars, what it does well is, instead of having, if you've played some of the other Roberto Schiavini sprint games where you have a form, and if they're rated as A, they can have a lot of pluses there to get an extra strength of speed or speed bonus. What this does is it rates everyone from an A, which is super, super fast, I think down to a Y. And so when the sprinting events, it breaks it up in 25-meter segments, and in the swimming events, it's a 12.5-meter segment, and then your roll, which should give you a much more diverse time. Bolt did have the chance with a good roll, which he didn't get, to have won the race, but he did not. So we always take the upset. So I'll put the graphic up again, and if you like that, we will do more of the same for the next time. But just basic stuff I just threw together after I had for dinner. And so there it is. Again, the times, and we can change the colors and all that. If it's centered, I think it's centered. I don't really know. But there you go. So first, second, and third. And the next time around we'll do some volleyball, which I played today, but did not select into slides. All right. Again, thank you so much for 1 year of Digital to Dice. Remember, if someone asks you what your favorite podcast is, and you produce one, it's really shouldn't say it's your own. You should give a nod to someone else. That's just the way to do it. And thanks for 700 subs, and especially thanks to CC Appafan for all the kind words on the Delphi forum. And Dave, it's been a great year, and I can't wait to start year number 2 with you. All right, so lots of stuff going on. We got golf. We're practicing ready for our Road to Tokyo and Summer Tokyo, and a couple projects I haven't talked about yet. They're gonna be a surprise, and you're gonna like them. All right, thank you so much. My name is Ron Juckett. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you the next time.